So right now, if I've graduated from Makaraya and I'm eager to get into the industry, uh, your experience, say that hey, you leave the United States, come to Australia, there's really no north point, you know, uh, as to where's the best place I should go. But should I stay in Brunei to if I'm really serious about developing myself in the industry? What's my next move after graduating from to have a basic a diploma in this?
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to throw this to the students as well as to whether they're going to stay in the industry in Brunei or they're planning on moving on. But from my perspective, Brunei is a great location to start making movies and to develop the film industry. For the simple fact that you've got amazing weather. And let's not forget, California was selected because it had great weather. It had over 300 days of sunshine, which means they could go outside and shoot. You have similar type climate here in Brunei. Granted, it rains quite a bit, but all in all, you get a lot of bright, sunshiny days, which is very important for film. And while video doesn't require as much film, it's still, sun is easier to work with than wet weather. It definitely hurts the industry when we have talented people from Brunei leave, because that takes that person out of this ecosystem. Ideally, what would happen is a student comes to Maha Korea and they find great success and they're able to work abroad. So let's say they go to Thailand and they are an assistant director there, or they work just underneath HOD. When that job is done, because that job finishes, it's not a permanent job, they return back to Brunei and start their own productions. So in another country, under a more established film industry, they're an assistant, and they come back to Brunei, they are then the HOD. Right. So they can have someone underneath them and start teaching them, right? So it's a give and take.
So what I'm hearing is you shouldn't be bound by the geographical area. You can move about depending on where the job is, and after that you can come back to contribute.
Yeah,
and then absorb more experience. Yeah, and come back and give again.
Yeah, and the way that data can be transferred, you don't even, if you're an editor, you never need to leave Brunei. All the footage and videos can be sent to you here to be edited. Same if you're a colorist. It's tough on the director. Directors have a hard time directing over screens. But I'd like to hear, Hamiza, would you leave Brunei if you were given the opportunity? And then would you return back, or how would you see your career?
Definitely, I would like, because finding experience in Brunei is quite a bit complicated at the moment. So it is a good chance for me to go out and experience something, and then bring it back to Brunei and share my knowledge. So I would say that's one of my goals after graduating.
Because I think a lot of times, one of the most important factors that determines where you are is the market itself. If the market cannot absorb you or cannot give you a job, then you have to look elsewhere where the fishes are. Like Mr. Fish.
No, it's true. But I mean, Brunei's got a lot of creative filmmakers. Okay, there's 3 great ones in the room right now, and I know there's some watching, like Nurhan, very talented, Carol, extremely talented, right? So they've got the direction. Obviously, they've made films before. There's nothing to say you can't have as strong of an industry here in Brunei as you would in Malaysia or elsewhere. There are more developed film industries, that's for sure. But the talent level, it's comparable. I think there's better ideas here. Donnie, would you leave and come back, or what would you do?
I don't know. It's like I would agree for that people what. That's for me. It's like I really want to try different experience, different geographical places and different cultures or what. But yeah, of course, somehow develop that films in Brunei is always a good place, because I would say this place is still not well developed, so we are the one need to continue how to say this
Build it.
Yeah, we're gonna build the communities among the Bruneians. What you know, just like Malaysian, the one they already have like a standard film.
So a lot more mature industry.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. Because here is like a bit, we're still starting, as you can see.
Is it a lot more affordable to start something here? The manpower, you know, everything else is, you know, relatively lower cost.
But okay, manpower might be lower cost, but there's least skills.
Less speed.
Less skills. Yeah, so they're not as skilled. So there's trade off there.
And then you have to bring in experts.
Yeah, you do. You do. Yeah, I mean, and that's what we saw with City Kamalut and Yasmin, where it was like the majority were flown in. But then with Harry Mingu and with Academy, she's slowly gotten more and more local crew and so on like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.